Because I'm all out of money!
Okay, if we can be honest here, this is what it comes down to for a lot of people: the economy. People do not have money. People that are working class are trying to make it, and they see Trump actually relating to these needs versus with the Kamala campaign, we didn't see any answers. We didn't hear the answers. So we're just going to go over here and try this. And to be fair, this may have been in big portion because Kamala was thrown into this at the last minute. Like, we didn't go through the process of voting for her for president and really getting to know her and what her plans were. It literally was, hey, we're just going to throw you in here, which is not a plan for someone to be successful. She really didn't have a lot of time. But in the time that she had, throwing celebrities and doing all the shenanigans, it just did not work.
I voted very early, and I voted for Trump.
Tell me why.
Trump just connects with me. It's his authenticity. It's his authenticity. I know Trump. I don't know who Kamala Harris is because she only plays the middle ground and she doesn't take a stance on anything.
You said to me earlier that you voted for Donald Trump to send a message to the Democratic Party and to Kamala Harris. What message were you trying to send?
Men's interest, like men have been alienated by woke culture, and we're sending a message saying enough is enough. I don't know if that means we'll win, but we're hoping for it.
I think a lot of people were turned off by being told who they should vote for based on skin color. I'm a black man. I'm in a black Greek-led organization. I went to an historically black college or university. None of that should matter with regards to how I make a decision on who I'm going to vote for.
Why do you think she's not the one?
I didn't think she was the one in 2020. I didn't find her to be a formidable enough candidate to get the base out to support her. They overlook class in the same way that Hillary Clinton 8 years ago took the black vote as well as the unionized community for granted. When you think that you have something just based on the history, and you don't speak to them, you don't come into the community, then the community turn. There's gonna come a point where the community just gets sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Oh God! Why? It wasn't me. I'm one of the good ones. Why me?
Hey, y'all have to admit, that is so funny and so true right now. Most of the crash outs that I'm seeing actually are white women, either because they themselves voted for Kamala or they feel really guilty about the situation or they feel guilty about their friends and they are just here dealing with it. And that relates to a lot of tears online and yelling and screaming. And also, you're going to see in a minute someone explaining themselves on why they voted for Trump as a white woman, almost as like a guilt trip. But it's at this point, it's like, hey, stand on what you did and why you did it. You really don't have to explain to anyone at this point. But per the video, this is a series on why different folks voted for Trump.
And I want to explain why I voted for who I voted for, okay? If anyone is curious. I know a lot of Harris fans and Democrats are so upset today, and I want to send out, like, seriously, I have empathy for you. I don't like seeing all the videos making fun of everything that the Democrats did wrong or what they should have done or I told you so's, like, or making fun of how you guys are actually crying. I sympathize with everyone that is upset. So I want everyone to know that where my intentions land in this video are only to just express why I voted for who I voted for, which I voted for Trump, but I just want to express why. So if you are somebody that is willing to open up your heart and just kind of listen to why somebody like me voted for Trump, because a lot of you are asking and a lot of you are name calling. And at the end of the day, it comes down to a very simple terms. Like when you are voting for the president, you are voting for who you think would be best for the job. You're not voting for your Valentine. You're not voting for someone who you're going to adore and cherish and love. No. You're supposed to vote for who you think is best for the job. With that being said, anybody that would honestly say that Harris would be a better fit for the position of presidency, maybe you're going to have to explain that to me, because I think that you guys are being blind by the fact of first woman president. Of course I would want a first woman president. I mean, obviously, but she's not it. She wasn't it. She was not it. And when she does step into those shoes, whoever she is going to be, I absolutely will vote for her no matter what side she falls on. So for me, okay, and I'm actually in a California, very blue state, I just want to sum it up in terms of it was a very simple question I had for myself. Between the two, who do I want running the United States of America? Making financial decisions, above and beyond. It's like the only reason everybody is so upset is because they cannot get past who Donald Trump maybe is at the core in his personal life. I could care less if the man takes up 25 wives. I don't care. I also don't care if you are gay or lesbian or, you know what I mean? Everybody to each is their own. All I care about is getting the job done. And he is best fit for that, period. It's that simple. How can you sit here and say that Harris is better than? So if you are somebody that is willing to open up your heart and just kind of listen to why somebody like me voted for Trump, because a lot of you are asking and a lot of you are name calling, and at the end of the day, it comes down to a very simple terms. Like, when you are voting for the president, you are voting for who you think would be best for the job. You're not voting for your Valentine. You're not voting for someone who you're going to adore and cherish and love. No. You're supposed to vote for who you think is best for the job. With that being said, anybody that would honestly say that Harris would be a better fit for the position of presidency, maybe you're going to have to explain that to me, because I think that you guys are being blind by the fact of first woman president. Of course I would want a first woman president. I mean, obviously, but she's not it. She wasn't it. She was not it. And when she does step into those shoes, whoever she is going to be, I absolutely will vote for her no matter what side she falls on. So for me, okay, and I'm actually in a California, very blue state, I just want to sum it up in terms of it was a very simple question I had for myself. Between the two, who do I want running the United States of America? Making financial decisions, above and beyond. It's like the only reason everybody is so upset is because they cannot get past who Donald Trump maybe is at the core in his personal life. I could care less if the man takes up 25 wives. I don't care. I also don't care if you are gay or lesbian or, you know what I mean? Everybody to each is their own. All I care about is getting the job done. And he is best fit for that. Period. It's that simple. How can you sit here and say that Harris is better than him? I mean, he has a number one fact. He's been president before. So when they say, what's your experience? Well, the guy actually has been in office for 4 years. So he qualifies in experience over Harris just by that alone. If you're going into a job interview, who is the person going to hire? Blind to everything else that they've done in their life. Okay? Your job is to pick the best person for the job. So you're going to look at experience. Okay, who has the most experience? Your employer does not ask, how did that experience go? Or calls up, your past bosses and asks. No, they look at experience, period. Have you done this job before?
Okay, I think she's doing a disservice to her argument so far because companies certainly do look at experience and the quality of that experience and will check references and do what they need to do to figure out as best they can if someone has done not only a job that they're saying that they've done before, but if they did it well and effectively. So here, I think a better argument would have been, I am watching this live, so maybe this lady will be getting to a point of whether she thought that Trump did a great job in his last term or if her stance really is, hey, he was president before, he's done the job, how bad could it be? So let's just do it again. Versus, I would rather hear her saying, just for argument's sake, hey, he did the job before, I thought he did it well, let's do it again, right?
Trump has. Fact number one. Fact number two, financially. Is he able to financially make rational decisions about our country? Well, we just go to fact number one and it tells you everything. He's already done this before. I know he was a pompous ass first time. I feel like he's a little bit more humbled now, and the guy has been through hell and back. And he's still here. I mean, if that doesn't show you the love that he has for this country, nobody could withstand such brutal punishment from America every single day, nonstop, for 8 years straight, and not do it for his own beneficial gain. No, there's got to be higher reasons. There's got to be love. There's got to be absolute something higher pushing this person to keep going and moving forward. So everybody has to just recollect their thoughts and come back together. So this decisiveness is just disgusting. And if you're going to move out of the country, go.
So I really don't think a lot of people that are saying they're going to move out of the country are actually going to do that. This is a great country in many ways, and there is a big reason why people are trying to get through here legally or illegally. There's a reason for that. And I think overall, I get it. She's feeling really bad about the reactions, and I understand that. Everyone's human. No one wants to just see people suffering and feeling like they're either unliked or their rights are getting taken away and all of these things. But the point that she makes is, I think an interesting thing, which is why I'm very surprised that people are literally crashing out. And it's because he has been president before, at least, so you do have something to go back to. Also, that is a key reason why a lot of people did vote for Donald Trump, is that they remember how they felt. The fact that maybe they had jobs, maybe they didn't, maybe they had higher stock prices, maybe they were able to effectively run their business, maybe they had easier taxes, whatever it was. Everyone's case is different. Not everyone's working class. Like, everyone's scenario is just so much different. So some people benefited, some people didn't. The ones that benefited were the ones that came out and said, hey, I benefited more under Trump than Biden, so I think I want to go back to that again. That's essentially what we're seeing here. And also the fact that with this campaign, they tried to use influences like celebrity and telling people that you have to vote for them because you're this race or this group or this gender, and that doesn't work.
There's a very common theme in my DMs right now, specifically from white women who voted for Trump, who feel attacked by me saying that yesterday's results of the election remind me that people don't care about my children or children in general. And they feel attacked or triggered by this because they want to remind me that they do care about my children. They do care about all children. That's why they voted for Trump. And when I come to them and I say, well, Trump's policies are going to cause direct harm to my children and millions of other children in our country. They will cause direct harm. And I explain how and why. And I remind them that I have 3 daughters, 2 children of color, 3 children with special education IEPs or 504s. They will have direct harm from his policies. And I say, you tell me that you voted for Trump because you care about my children and your children. Tell me why. What policies do you think will benefit my children and your children? What policies did you vote for? When you voted, did you think about marginalized people? Did you think about women? Did you think about people of color? Did you think about kids with special needs or pre-existing conditions? Did you think about that? The response is crickets.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Why Trump?
Because he's the man. He gets the job done. Trump is a stand-up guy. Don't get me wrong now. I don't agree with half of the things that he does, but he stands on his words and he does what he needs to do. So my vote is Trump.
How many people do you think are out there like you?
There's thousands of people out there like me, but they're probably afraid to say it. But I'm not afraid to say it. I like Trump. I support what he's doing.
I'm an immigrant, but I voted for Trump because I really love his policies on immigrants and building the wall and all the different rhetoric that he had on Haitians and everything that we did find enough evidence to back up, by the way. So, as an immigrant, I really want to keep other immigrants out of the country. So that's why I voted for Trump. And I really think that he has our best interests at heart. And he's going to do so much to just help us, even though most of the people that are currently in the U.S., they're not actually from the U.S. besides Native Americans. I still think that he has immigrants' best interests at heart. And, that's exactly why I voted for him. And I can't wait to see all the amazing things that he's going to do for us. Yeah, I'm so proud of my decision.
So I had to throw that little clip in there touching on the topic of immigration. And I've been watching a lot of videos where the guys are on the streets and they're just asking people different questions. And I have seen those that were asking people that were immigrants, and some were not legal and others were legal. And at least the commentary from those that went through the legal processes was that they're fine with immigration, of course. That's why they're here. But they wanted others to go through the same process that they did legally. That's just what I've heard. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Kamala's never gonna beat me in November. Donna's gonna make the country better than you can remember. Kamala's never gonna beat me in November. Hey, Margarita. Kamala's never...